Hey guys, Sheldon Steele here with Steele Realty and Investment Group. Get ready to break down this market update. We actually went back to the beginning of January. We're now sitting here at the end of February now. So going to give you a little snapshot here of the last almost 60 days or so. Apologize for the mess behind me. My office is in a state of repair right now. We've got kind of some construction projects going on, so a little messy, and we're making the best of it today. But we're going to go ahead and jump over and start running through some of these stats. There's not a ton to cover here, but interesting to see nonetheless. Like I mentioned, we're going back to January 1, right? And we've only seen 9 new active listings come on the market. 3 of those have gone pending during that time period. I say that 3 in total of all of Wilton have gone pending in that time period. And then we've seen 6 properties close, right? So closings are typically a trailing indicator. That's activity that, has likely happened 30, 45 to 60 days beforehand. But in 2 months' time, only 18 properties have seen some kind of activity shift, which is not a ton. These stats I'm not going to bore you with, especially when we're looking at our Wilton properties, highly specific. Not going to transfer over much like they will the in-town stuff as far as our square footage numbers and even lot sizes. So there is some interesting stuff once we get into listing prices and values, right? That's where most people want to focus. Our numbers for the last 2 months, highly skewed because of one listing. As you can see, we did have one listing come on the market at nearly $12 million. It's going to throw some of our averages off. You'll see, right, our average now hovering right around 1.5 million. We'll give you some of my insights on all of that later too. Our median right now, 831. That's probably a pretty accurate number, even with the $12 million one taken into account. Once we get into closed prices, things get more interesting, right? Cheapest property to record was at 580,000. Average was 900,000. Once again, that's going to be more of what we're seeing Wilton market in general now, right? You're looking at an entry level price point around 800,000, to be honest. We will see some properties here and there that'll jump below that. Median coming down at 812. Our maximum closed price, $1,375,000. That's only what's showing on MLS, you guys. We actually closed a listing during this time period at $1,825,000. It's not reflective in these numbers. We do a fair amount of stuff off market, so those aren't going to be reflected in here. Days on market, right? Fastest one was 2 days. On average, we're seeing 52 days on market. There's some truth to that and a little bit not so true. And I'll kind of dig into that a little bit. Our cumulative days on the market, right? That stuff that may have came on, gone off, came back on. You'll see some of those numbers there. Just getting into the looks of it all. During that time period, 12 of these properties that came on, went pending or closed, were on the residential side, 6 on the land side. The land side's still pretty slow. Seen a tiny bit of an uptick here in the last 30 days or so, but I'm not expecting that to be a continued trend. Just the affordability of land sides become an issue once you look at acquisition costs. Then add in building cost. In most cases, it's cost prohibitive for people to do that. Cheaper to buy something existing unless they really have a specific piece or home they're wanting to build for, whether it be personal desires or need. Cheapest residential right there at 665. Our most expensive, as we mentioned, nearly 12 million. Another one here at 1.8 million. We are seeing a segment of this market right now between about 1.3 and 1.8 million that's red hot. Reason for that is we do still have buyers coming over from the Bay Area. We, I've actually just recently put buyers into contract from Google, from Tesla, from a couple financial firms out in the Bay. We're still seeing the migration over where people are selling their homes there, are using the hybrid work model to their advantage and purchasing out in the Wilton area. So that 1.3 to 1.8 market seems to be red hot for us if the property fits. You'll see those in the pendings, one at 1.4, one at 1.9. As I mentioned earlier, we have one of ours missing on the closed sides. They closed at $1,825,000. We do actually, now as I'm talking about this, have another one too that's off market that we put into contract at 1.2 million. So, we're still seeing some big numbers. And then that sweet spot for the Wilton market, in that 800 range, those properties move and they move quickly. On the land side, not a whole lot of activity. We do have, some more of the 4 or 5 acre parcels coming on the market. We did have a 5 acre piece recently go pending, but it's been pretty slow on the land side. So, what does all of that look like? What does it mean? Well, we do have the opportunity for you to put your address in, where we're going to give you some of these reports that are more specific to your property. And then as well as our personal insights if you want it. I've been selling real estate in Wilton for nearly the last 20 years. Obviously, every single piece in Wilton can vary greatly depending on, what the land can be used for, location, views, does it hold water, does it not, ponds, everything, all kinds of factors that go into it. It's a little bit of an art. So obviously we're still in a seller's market. We are seeing a lack of inventory still being the significant driving factor in Wilton. Our buyer pool's gone down simply because of the move up buyers aren't as prevalent as they used to be, right? So those people that were selling their houses in Elk Grove, in town, wanting to move out to the country, most of them are staying put now from an affordability aspect of there's just not enough equity in their house to sell, move out to Wilton and account for the 7% rates they're looking at, and make financial sense. So that's why a lot of our incoming buyers, especially on the higher end stuff, does still tend to be from the Bay Area. This is where stats can get deceiving, right? When you see average sold price per square foot's depreciating, well, that's really more of a Wilton dynamic than anything. Going to vary greatly, not just on house size, but those outside factors as well as in regards to the parcel and how they affect value. Days on market showing a downward trend. Same thing, if we fit into these segments of the market where there's just simply no inventory, then, things are moving quick, and especially if you're priced correctly. If you're overpriced, you're going to sit still. There's no doubt about it. Kind of getting into where we're at as far as neutrals on gains and things like that. Obviously still a seller's market, but here's kind of some interesting stats when we get into absorption rates and things like that. Typically, when we see an absorption rate of 1/3, so 33% or above, is going to indicate a seller's market. Well, we were sitting at 55.6 during that time period. So stuff is getting eaten up without a doubt. We're consistently sitting around that 1.5 to maybe 2 months worth of inventory, meaning, hey, if no new homes came on the market within that 1.5 to 2 month period, there would be nothing else left for you to buy. Everything would be gone. So very interesting when you do look at that. We can even kind of do a quick view. Just let's see how many actives we have in Wilton period right now. If we eliminate our dates, and we are 7, a total of 7 houses in all of Wilton's for sale right now, and 6 parcels. So if you are thinking about doing something, it's obviously a great time. You want to make sure that you have the second step in line. We're more than happy to help plan that out for you, create the roadmap. So reach out to us or hit the button there below. You'll get these monthly updates sent into your inbox, as well as reports that are specific to your property. And we will chat with you here again soon.